Hello, Internet. How are you today? Um, if you still think of noon as like the time I usually start, that's probably a bit unconventional because I honestly can't remember the last time I started at noon. I still feel like I'm starting late. I don't know. I guess noon is like when I want to start, and I haven't been hitting that. But today I did not hit that in part because I did something that I've been saying I've been going to do for a while. And when I was getting ready to stream, I was like, you know what? I'm actually just gonna do it instead. So one of the first things, yeah. All right, yeah. So we have we have ghost cookies in our project, and huh. Wonder if this is gonna work. Yeah. So we have like I'm using like alpha from transparent or alpha from grayscale for. It takes a second to kick in. Oh no, yeah. For these cookie assets, I'm using I've been calling them ghost cookies because they're like yeah they're all see through because of the I on this computer I don't have anything in the way of like advanced image editing software, so MS Paint I don't know, maybe there's a way to like make nice bumps that way. I didn't really bother. Instead, I just went on my other computer where I do have image editing software, and I made this. So let's try replacing that. All right. Yeah. No. I noticed that there was like all white around the edges. I don't know what that's about. Uh, well, cookie is the cookie is the obvious answer here, but I don't think they mean that in the same way. Um, I don't know. Maybe Sprite? No. I swear I've done this before. Pretty sure I've done this before. Maybe I've never done this before. Maybe I always used transparency from grayscale. Uh, huh. uh, We're gonna get UI. No, that's funny. All right. Well, I guess I don't have a good reason for starting the stream late today. I thought I did. I thought that would have been a good reason. Like like if you look at these files in other places, like the transparency is there. Transparency is real. I think. I thought so. I don't know. Maybe I just messed it up when I was editing it. Let's try cookie. Wouldn't it be great if that just worked? No. I don't know what cookie means in that context. It's not alpha from grayscale. Yeah, see, that just makes it weird. That just makes it ghost cookies with like a weird square around them. Alpha is transparency. Oh wait, and then no! Come on! I want alpha as transparency, I just don't want alpha from grayscale. What's the deal with that? I'm gonna ask the internet real quick. And actually, yeah, I'm gonna ask the internet, and I'm also gonna check something super fun. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so whenever when for the past 3 days, whenever I start up a stream, instead of it getting automatically tweeted to the Twitter account that I have linked to this, I instead just get an email that the Twitter account got unlinked, which is which is a significantly less helpful feature. I guess I'll just not worry about that. That's irksome. Anyways, yeah, no, I won't worry about that. I'll worry about that off camera. But my test case for that is going live, so sometimes it's a little hard to test elsewhere. Anyways, uh, dot bump transparency settings. I don't know. See what that gives. Sure. Oh, wait. Wait, transparent color. I don't want a transparent color. And that's not even... Bing, you fail me. I'm blaming the search engine. It might just be that there's not... Are you gonna help? Are you gonna be helpful? Pages that named as generically as this, I don't tend to expect help from. You're not really helpful. Alpha textures. Maybe we'll actually learn something here, apparently. I don't care about edge padding. Or maybe I do, but I don't care about it yet. Apply padding? What do we... No, I have my texture already. Just tell me the Unity steps. What? Oh, that's weird. um, Whatever. Alright. I was hoping that would fix things, but... Oh, is it because it's just unlit transparent? Maybe transparent cutout diffuse or no, that didn't help. I don't know what cutout is, but it sounded like it might be right. Transparent diffuse, no. No, unlit transparent is probably fine. Wait, no, wait, it wasn't unlit transparent. What was it? It was transparent diffuse, right? No, it was unlit transparent. Wait, but I don't think I wanted it to be that. Yeah, I wanted it to be transparent diffuse. Yeah, and transparent, I mean I don't know. I feel like this should work, because transparency was working with the ghost cookies, so I feel like it's a problem with the texture. Open. Alright, whatever. I don't care. What the heck? Advanced? No, I don't care. I don't care. Really? See, like, from my perspective, this is like a really easy and obvious thing. Like alpha. Like, it's a real thing. Don't just ignore alpha. Like, but apparently that was... Apparently I'm unique in that interpretation. Because apparently some people just enjoy ignoring alpha. Normal map, no. Welp, I'll stop wasting time on this, because it's not because I don't care. I do care. I want this to work. I just get the sense that I'm the only one who cares right now, and that I'm working with a system that doesn't care. I don't have to... I already created the image, bros! Don't tell me how to create the image. Sorry, this is like my last vestige of hope, so... Don't start instructions with go to Photoshop. Alright, inside Unity, you can also use the textured... No. I'm disappointed. Maybe it is my fault. Maybe it's the asset. Or maybe that's just what they want me to think. I don't know. Sorry, I'm listening to music and I have to turn it down slightly. Sorry. Okay. Alright, so... I'm just gonna look on my other computer real quick to see if... Did I just not spot check? Did I just assume that it worked and did it not actually work? Or did it get... I'm kind of reaching for explanations at this point. Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe the transparency has failed. Alright, so maybe it's not Unity's fault. Alright. Anyways, it's Ghost Cookies for now, I suppose. Uh, Go away. Sorry. I mean, okay. Uh, ugh. Now, I don't know which was worse, to just suffer these ghost cookies for longer, or to just like try and fix them up again on my other computer while live. How? What on earth could have gone wrong? There's like very little that could have gone wrong in that process. It was a very simple process. Um, am I not supposed to use bitmaps for this? I thought that was the correct file type, but I don't know. I don't work with art assets very often. So yeah, you hold on. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's just like basically just sucked. Like the thing that I saved is not the thing that I saved. Like the thing that I reopened is not the thing that I saved. So, uh, what? What do you? Oh, yeah. Sorry if I sound exasperated. That might be a slight exaggeration. I'm actually just irked because I don't know. I feel like it should work the first time, but it didn't want to work the first time. So now I get to do it all over again. This is exactly what I was doing just a moment ago, and I guess you can't even really see it. So yeah, I mean it's nothing on this screen. I might as well just go face mode. Hey! Oh wow, that's sorry. That's a wider angle than I remembered it being. Pardon. I think I was messing around with my camera settings yesterday. Sorry. Um, so, all right. If this isn't wanting to work, I'm not gonna worry about it super much. So what do I save this as? My options are. There are only so many options. There are a few options, I guess. Like if I say, fine, GIF. How about GIF? That's gonna like make all the. Oh wait, hold on a second. There's a. Why? There are a bunch of save options here, but they're all like they're all grayed out for some reason. Huh. Wonder what that's about. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna try one more thing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like I said, I don't use image editing or like art. I don't work with actual art assets constantly. So I these are like new challenges for me. Not like new, but like just challenges that I haven't dealt with recently. No. uh, it's I thought when you paste an image into a smaller canvas, it would ask you if you wanted to increase the size of it, but no, apparently that's not something that happens. So it says we're supposed to start it at the correct size. Sure, whatever. Yeah. Alright. Now, how about you work correctly, please? Or as expected. Oh. Alright, I'm running really low on care at this point. I'm like, my care levels are almost depleted. Almost 100% depleted. Because it just doesn't want to work. I could have sworn I've done this before, though, which is the part that's weirding me out. Like, what did I do that was not this, but no, alright. Well, it's ghost cookies. The final the final project is gonna have ghost cookies. I don't care. I can't care. I really can't care. Software, you're mean. You're cruel, cruel software. Right, so that was great. That was fantastic. 100% awesome. Hey, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I was just wrestling with some image editing software, and I think I won because I came out of the experience, and I'm not terrible, but it is, so I feel like that's a small victory of sorts. um, yeah, so other than that, alright, actually, I'm just going to delete those. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to delete those failure assets. And yeah, when I was doing that, I remembered that I never renamed these other assets because I had the one texture for the entire like inner light on the explosive devices, and then I modified it thinking that it might be an improvement, the modification I made, and it was, but I forgot to apply that naming convention. So thank you. um, so so what? Oh, I don't even want to look at transparent or like texture settings anymore. What should we do instead? I was kind of pumped for that because, wait. Oh yeah, no. For the stars, I just use transparency. Wait, for the stars, I use are the red? Huh, that's funny. Yeah, for the stars, I used transparency from or alpha from transparency from grayscale, and then I recolor the red star manually. Yeah, I guess I must just recolor the. Oh yeah, right. I just set like a color for it, and so it knows not to make that color semi-transparent. See, that was pretty straightforward and easy to set up. Uh, it's nice when that happens. So, yeah, I was gonna do that first. I was gonna set that up first, but let's see what to do instead. I did have something in mind. Oh yeah, I was gonna change how modifiers show up, or how. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna change how modifiers show up because once we had these looking good, we could actually like put these into the game world so that they don't just like magically appear in this top bar up here. They actually like get carried in by a mob, and then you collect it, and then it appears up here. Which I guess we can still do, but I'm just less enthusiastic about it. I like the solution that we came up with for these sprites, and yeah, it'd just be nice if that solution worked. I'm just gonna check MS Paint real quick. Is there a way to do transparency in MS Paint? I don't think I actually ever looked into that really. I just assumed that I'd have to do it elsewhere. But I'm just gonna take a quick look because I actually don't even have a recourse at this point. Like, unless I can get one of these to work, I probably just have to scrap the idea and go back to something else instead. So save as. So if I tried to save you as like a bitmap or this or no, I was hoping it would like give me some extra options for like transparency or no. I didn't honestly expect Paint to manage stuff like that, but would have been nice. Anyways, so should we? I mean, we still have to change how modifiers spawn. And I want them to be carried in the game world first. But I guess I can't worry about that right now. Yeah, no, I have Photoshop on my other computer, um, but it was failing me. Like literally, I set up the. Well, it's on my other computer, so it's a little hard to show on stream. But yeah, I had it set up with transparency, and so at first I thought Unity was flaking because I couldn't think of a specific reason why setting up the file, like, so okay, so yeah, I set up the asset how I wanted it. I saved it and I just sent it over to this computer, and I tried hooking it up in Unity, and I assumed Unity was flaking. I went back to look at it on my other computer, and the file that I opened was not the file that I saved. So I don't know what's happening there. And yeah, uh, I I need a little distance from that. So for the modifier system, it'll be driven on gameplay rather than like right now. It's literally just on an arbitrary timer. So every 15 seconds or so, uh, every 15 seconds on the dot. In fact, uh, a new one spawns. Oh, well, actually, maybe we don't want to change that too much, because the game starts really slow. So yeah, it might just be easier to control that curve. Like just literally apply control to that curve. By something as simple as a fixed period for the rate at which they spawn. But I know, like with multiplicity, the only way I have to balance multiplicity. Um, oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't. I don't know exactly what that's about. A couple other people have mentioned some lag in the stream. I guess I should try toying with the broadcast settings in case. Like I know like it's trying to broadcast high res right now, and so maybe I just or HD. So maybe I should just like lower the resolution settings. Maybe that would help with the buffering. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. But yeah, thank you for following on. um, so, uh, yeah, the only way. So when we get to balancing this game, there are a lot of like dials and knobs that we can apply to stuff like strength, because strength is like a float value. So the way we adjust that float value, and this is actually true of strength and range and speed, because those are all float values. So you can get very granular, very fine tuned with like how modifiers affect strength or just affect floats in general. Multiplicity is an int, so it's an integer value. So it always has to like click up by one integer value or one or multiple integer values, and that. So in order to balance around multiplicity, I'm pretty sure we are going to regulate the frequency at which those modifiers spawn. So the other ones will probably have like a fairly uh, like the others will probably have a fairly similar rate. They'll probably all just arbitrarily uh, like the default case when a modifier spawns is that probably one of those other three will spawn, or a potion. I still haven't addressed potions yet. Um, and then yeah, so the multiplicity modifiers can only spawn in like there'll be special handling for whether we get one of those and when we get one of those. Um, so I guess I could start setting that up. Um, and so yeah, so how do we want to control multiplicity? Do we want it to just have a longer number? Do we just want to have like a different rate that we can tune for the rate of at which those spawn? I guess that's a fine place to start, and then and then if we need to apply more complex calculations to that, then we can work with that new value. I don't know why I'm staring at my other monitor. I just just lost in thought. All right, so right, so now okay, yeah, we have a few. I forget where it happens. It's below this. We have a few things that we do when we're spawning a button. First, we check whether it's time to spawn a wait, is this? Yeah. First, we check whether it's time to. Wait. I swear, somewhere we check whether to spawn oh yeah, okay. So this is the part where we check if it's time to spawn a new power, because bombs is the second modifier thingy button thingy to spawn. You always get the second, for at least at present. I can change those, and I probably will at some point. Yeah, bombs are second. Dash is sixth, and right now POW 3 is 20th. Although POW 3 still isn't a thing, so yeah. And so, right, and then in the case that it's not time to spawn a power, then we just randomly choose. We just use a random value anywhere in that range. So, yeah, previously, so this random check might come up with any of the four types that we have for modifiers presently. It used to also include potions, but since potions aren't hooked up, I just took them out so that I could get a better sense of how balance would go. Because potions will do something. Ideally potions will be about as strong as a modifier, so it's not like a dead draw or anything. They might be slightly less powerful than a modifier, but they're not going to be so powerless as to be literally dead. They'll do something at least. So yeah, just so for the available types, we have bombs, dash, POW 3, strength, speed, range, multiplicity, and potion 1 and 2. So we're probably gonna have, because there might be two potions. I don't know. There might only be one potion. There might be no potions. We'll find out. Time will tell. So I already, to cut out potions, I just reduced the range in which we're rolling this random value. And if we look I am enthusiastic. Thank you. Have a nice lunch. Thanks for stopping by. I'm enthusiastic. Sorry. So, when I cut out potions, I just previously I'd been rolling anywhere from 3 to 8, and then when I cut out potions, I just changed it so that we're only rolling from 3 to 6. And actually, conveniently, multiplicity is right at the end there, so I can just chop it down one more and say we're rolling instead between just 3 to 5, and so I don't foresee a specific need, at least as of yet, to actually pick and choose, anything other than just randomly between those. Actually, yeah, I guess. Well, maybe the next thing I'll do is to make something a little smarter about how those are chosen, because with a purely random system, you can roll 30 times and get the same result all 30 times, and that would just be weird. I really don't want that to be the case. It's statistically improbable, but it'll happen, and that's how randomness works. So I'll probably come back to that. But for now, just to keep the game working quasi as expected, while allowing us to make this change. I'm just gonna, yeah. So previously we were rolling for icons length -5 because there were 5 types that we were precluding from this possible outcome, and conveniently we can just bump that up to 6. So now it's only those specific 3 that we care about, starting at the third one. So 3, 4, and 5 are the only values that we actually care about from that outcome. However, we need to put this in a new conditional because if I haven't set up variables for this yet, but I'm just gonna like punch in the logic and then go retrofit in the variables. So let's say mult spawn time. If mult spawn time is less than time dot fix time, then we'll spawn a multi. Let's get consistent with naming. I'm just using the 3-letter abbreviation MLT for this particular type of power up. So in this case, we'll put in something to spawn a multi. Or we'll set. Well, actually, no. I guess this is actually fairly straightforward. What happens here is, okay. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to set up the else case. Yeah, and actually what happens here is actually quite straightforward. It's just that avail type equals not this whole weird random thing. So not any of this. It just literally just equals what I think 6. 6 is the I think 6 is the one that we want. I can double check that. Because I think 6 is the type. I could use enums here, but I don't. Sorry. Do as I say, not as I do. So right then. So once we've spawned it, we want to. So like this thing that I made up that isn't a real thing yet. This is like the time at which we expect to spawn a multiplier power up. So once we do that, we'll want to set that time to sometime in the future, like the next time that we want to spawn it. So still not a thing, but mult spawn time plus equals. So I'm thinking I'm gonna use plus equals right now. Like the way any of these things spawn, it's on a fixed timer, and I don't like if there's like a little bit of herkiness, like if there's a little bit of if there's inconsistency in like how these two windows like work together, like or these two periods work together. So like the overall spawn period is, I think it's right now it's at 15 seconds, and let's say we put the mult time period to like, I think we want to put just like something much bigger, like I don't know, maybe like 6 times as much or something. But like if it's not quite on the nose, like in terms of, like if the longer one is not perfectly divisible by the shorter one, then it adds like a slight bit of like extra like just dead time in the cycle. If I set spawn time like to equal, for example, time or time dot fixed time plus the other value that we have made up. So I'm actually just going to add in the other new value that we're making up, MLT spawn period. So like when this transpires, like MLT spawn time might have transpired like, or we might be like already like 10 seconds past the old MLT spawn time. So by adding in the spawn period rather than setting the spawn time to equal time.fixed time plus the spawn period, we're essentially we kept counting despite the fact that we hadn't spawned the previous one yet. So yeah, that's actually fairly straightforward. Okay, I'll double check that 6 is the correct one, and when we go to put in MLT spawn time and MLT spawn period. And where's a good place for that? I guess with the power blocks. that's where we tend to put a lot of the sort of explosion, or yeah, yeah, why not? Put it right next to the modifiers. So we have float, MLT spawn time, and that will set. We also have public float, MLT spawn period. We'll want that public float. Want that public so that we can toy with it, get it tuned up right. And yeah, so presently I think we have like too many multipliers. And oh, you know what? I'm actually not gonna make this public because I'm gonna do one further thing. I'm gonna say public MLT spawn period initial, or in it and I'm gonna use this to, in case we want to change the spawn period as the game runs, because like it's even possible that as the game runs we'll actually want to increase the spawn period or something, because these things are really powerful, and so we really have to put some restrictions on how the player acquires these. So like we want the player to get them because I find them to be tons of fun. That's why I put them in. But yeah, we just have to be very judicious about how we do that. So yeah, so the spawn period we don't actually have to even worry about either. We can say MLT spawn period init equals right. So yeah, so presently it felt like we were getting too many of these potentially, and the spawn time of the powers in general, or the modifiers in general, was every 15 seconds, and there's like a 1 in 4 chance that we'd get these. So that tells me that even like once per minute is like really high. So I guess I want to start at least at around like, well, I mean, I guess we could start low actually. We could give away the first few fairly early on, and I might want to do that because, like I said, I really like these. So I like giving them to the players. So, and I like when I play the game, I like getting them. So, yeah. What if we said it starts at like 30-ish, and then so then what if there's public MLT spawn period scale, and what if that was like 1.5 or something? So now we're gonna get the first multiplier fairly early on, and like at around the 30-second mark. We'll get the next one around the... Oh, so yeah, my plan is to... I mean, I haven't set it up yet, but my plan is to multiply this in each time we get one. So the next one would appear at like the 45-second mark, and the next one would appear after the... Or, excuse me, not the 45-second mark, but it would appear 45 seconds later, and then the one after that would appear more than a minute later, and it would... And they would... With each subsequent one, there would be a longer and longer wait until you got the next one. That wouldn't affect the rate at which you're getting modifiers. It would just affect the rate at which you're getting this particular type of modifier. So yeah, let's do that. And it might be, I'm thinking actually 1.5 might be low. I might actually want it closer to like maybe even 2, because these are really powerful. You can make the game trivially easy if you get too many of these. So yeah. So let's go back to where we were doing this stuff. Oh wait, we weren't doing this stuff yet. And actually, yeah, before... Well, no, yeah, well, alright, so on the way to hook up scale, let's stop by endgame and start, because we'll want to say MLT in start, we want to say MLT spawn period equals MLT spawn period init. Wait, why did that not autocomplete? Just because it was being weird, or did I forget like something up here? So usually I forget a semicolon up here, but no, okay. Just being weird. Cool. Oh, did I name it wrong? Spawn MLT spawn period init. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. MLT spawn period init. And now you're giving like red text here. Alright. I don't know what that's about. Hold on. I'm gonna jump over to Unity because I don't know what error it's telling me I introduced. Oh yeah, of course. That's probably obvious to viewers, but I don't know. I forget to do that sometimes too. Alright, I'll just remember that. Okay. Anyways, yeah, sorry. Right. So those are floats. They're floats. So okay, and then so we set MLT spawn period to MLT spawn period init, and then we set MLT spawn time to MLT spawn period. And then we'll do, well, actually, for no particular reason, I'm going to add in time not fixed time, which should be essentially 0, but sure. Okay, let's, we also do this when we, I guess when we restart the game, we'll do this. I was going to say we could do it when we end the game, but then if you hang out on the end game screen for however long, you could just like stack up your potential for these power-ups. So yeah. Okay, what did I forget? A semicolon. And you can go like that. Did I forget one here too? Yeah, I did. Hey, about that. Close that so it stops highlighting stuff. Alright, save. Right, so now let's add in the scale. Doop 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 doop. So yeah, so we'll do this before we set the new time, so, or before we modify the new time. So let's say MLT spawn period times equals MLT spawn period scale. Good. So that should work now, I guess. We should now be getting our multipliers at fixed increments. So if the spawn time is 15 right now, then the third one we get should be a multiplier. And I'm not gonna waste too much time waiting around to see if that works. I'm actually just gonna like kind of play the game, and because like one of the focus for today, like it was yesterday, will be I'm standing on a small exercise device, is why I'm bouncing up and down, just in case that's unclear to viewers. Return viewers, of course, will hear me say that a lot because I'm self-conscious about it. Alright, so anyways, yeah. So the point of today is kind of like to see how the game feels, and see what we want to change. I do have if nothing like stands out, yeah, look at that. So let's get a do trend. So then the next one should be what? The next one should be, there should be 3 or 4 other modifiers before we get another one. So strength is a modifier that is not multiplicity. So we should get 2 or 3 more of those. Oh. Well, that was soon. Oh, right, no, not 2 or 3. Right, because I have it at 1.5. It would be 2 or 3 if I had set it to 2, which I think I probably should set it to, because again, that was too soon. But, alright, yeah, no, it's at 1.5, so that's probably correct. I mean, it won't be correct ultimately, because I'll want to change it to 2. At this point, I'm already fairly certain I want to change it to 2, the scale to 2, so that the period it doubles every time. But I'll have to do that in a bit. I guess, yeah. I like giving away some of the. So that yeah, I think some of the things in this game are fairly straightforward conceptually, and then some of them are like a little bit more unique, or unconventional. So I like to introduce the less conventional aspects at a metered pace, so that like they don't all show up at once and like overwhelm the user. Which is why the game starts out a little bit slow. I'll probably pick up the pace once I get more visual indicators set up so that the interface is a little easier to use. But yeah, it'll still ultimately even like so even in the final product, those things will be introduced like at a relatively gradual pace, or at a pace to accommodate new users, and so like those things are the explosive cookies or the explosive devices, just like the game systems in general, like the mobs and the hero and how they interact. Actually, so I'm saying these out of order. So like yeah, so basically like the hero, and then mobs and how the mobs and heroes interact, and then cookies, like the gold ones, and then explosive devices, and then I mean there's kind of a lot up front. So like probably yeah, I think that'll be roughly the order, probably, and then modifiers, or then like any of these things, and then powers. I think I'm actually not sure about that one. I might introduce powers before I introduce modifiers. I that one will depend on what I end up doing with the UI, because if depending on how I want to change the UI, and I might do this today. I want to change it. Like currently, you have to drag these from the top bar to the bottom bar. But I should use I should use these so as not to lose the game. Strength on bomb, speed on dash, I guess. Molt on dash, strength on bombs. Strength on hero a couple times, I guess. Strength on bombs, range on dash. Oh, I should have done that on hero. Strength on bombs, strength on bombs. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, presently you have to drag these things from the top to the bottom. I want to make it so that instead. So I'm waiting for one to appear again. Yeah, okay. So instead, path 3, path 3. Sorry, there's no path 3. Okay. Although actually, I do have some ideas about path 3. Anyways, yeah, I want to make it so that you can like click on the top bar and it'll highlight that one, and then you can click on the bottom bar and it'll put it where you click on the bottom bar. And also, while you have something highlighted on the top bar, it also highlights down on the bottom bar like what are valid options for it. Which for modifiers, valid options will be any of the filled circles. So this empty circle will not be a valid option. For the powers, only the empty circles will be valid options. Although actually, if you drop a power anywhere other than if you drop a power anywhere, like power 3, like this is technically the only valid option for it. But if you drop it anywhere down here, it goes to that is the only valid option, so it goes to it. It knows where it lives. We just won't highlight the other in like next like quasi-valid options. Because that's not like the concept really. That's just like a convenience factor. So yeah, so the game, like I've already lost 4 pips. I have 5 left. Partly because I've been talking and explaining things more so than playing, but oh yeah, I should make those changes that I've been talking about for dash too, because like right now I want dash to be more powerful than bombs. It has a significantly longer cooldown, and right now there's like there are a few foibles with it, like if you try socks, hey, long time. I don't know if this has affected you at all, but for some reason, I can't like auto tweet my streams anymore. I don't know what that's about. I might start manually tweeting them if I can't get that fixed, or I might try and get it fixed. But yeah, they haven't been going up the past few days, so I hope that hasn't been inconvenient. If it has, I apologize. Um, oh, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about how I want Dash to be really good. Oh, it's the new follower sound, my favorite sound. Nearly delicious. Join the party. Thank you, Nearly Delicious. I might not be wearing a shirt. I'm standing on a small exercise device, and I don't know. That's my excuse. um, yeah, no. Okay, so the fun thing about Twitch and Twitter right now, I mentioned this before, but I'm going to recap it briefly. um, the fun thing about Twitch and Twitter right now is that whenever my stream goes live, it used to be the case that it would automatically tweet about it because I connected my accounts. Now, instead of automatically tweeting about it, it sends me an email that says your account has been disconnected. So for the past 3 days, I've been reconnecting my account, and in each subsequent day, instead of tweeting it again, it sends me an email saying your account has been disconnected. So. Someone earlier told me I was enthusiastic. Thank you. I don't know. This is what I love to do, so I'm happy to do it. I mean, I do also like wearing shirts. I wear shirts actually quite a lot. Like if I'm not streaming, there's a good chance that I'm wearing a shirt. It's just that I stream. I don't know. I should probably start wearing a shirt, I guess. I don't know. Does it make people uncomfortable that I'm not wearing a shirt? Because I could be more professional about this. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm in an office environment right now. Like I mean, I guess I'm technically in public, so maybe I should feel like I'm in public. But then there are places like there are public places where people don't wear shirts, like beaches and stuff. I don't know. I guess I don't have like a complete rationale for it. I just I don't know. I didn't feel I just never really got dressed up. Thank you, M6 David. Yeah, so I want to figure out I want to actually like solve the whole Twitch Twitter thing. It's tough though, because like the only time I can test if it's working is if I'm about to go live, and then I'm live, so it's like, okay. I'll have to practice that one. That sounds like a good maneuver. I'm gonna slaughter it if I do it right now. It's not something I explain. Hold on. I'll work on that one. Alright. Well, I'm glad you're all very understanding on this topic. I appreciate the feedback. Yeah, I try and adjust the stream. Actually, like the stream previously had been set up differently. Like I only recently put chat in the stream window, which it's something that some other streamers do that I like, because like I'll put a stream like full screen on one of my monitors, and then like chat that just hides chat, and so I could like pop out chat. But like I don't know, I like it when streamers do that, so I figured I should at least give it a shot. Yeah, I've been changing that around. So actually, it was the same viewer who suggested that I kind of like shrink my face on the screen and make it take up less real estate, which is another thing that I did. They suggested that I start streaming under the banner of Ludum Dare, or like Ludum Dare, depending on how you want to pronounce it, which I only today finally like took that advice. It just, I don't know, it makes more sense than the other available options right now. There's not like a specific game dev tag. It's really exciting. I, I yeah, like the new follower notification thing works now, and that's like my favorite thing. And active chat, like this is it. It's like I haven't been doing this very long, but it's starting to feel real. So thank you everyone for participating. The I so I looked into programming. It's actually the name of a game. Yeah, which I guess I mean. But so between the two, I guess the reason I went with this one instead of programming is that I spend like probably about like half my time programming. Like I spend like about half my time in monodevelop, uh, like writing scripts and code. I guess it's not really apparent on my stream yet because I haven't gotten to like the like later in the project. It tends to get way less like programming intensive, and I spend actually a lot more time in simulation. I've kind of been like or in the game, like tweaking values, getting the balance right. We've been actually, I guess the stream is kind of has been moving in that direction because I still have this major feature that oh, hold on, sorry, I'm just going to take out my earbuds because I'm actually not listening to that anymore. Yeah, there's this major feature that I know I need to implement, and I just I don't have it pinned down. Like I have ideas for like how it could work, but the elusive POW3 is like it's like an unsolved. My voice sounds weird now that I'm not wearing earbuds. But so yeah, POW3. Once I pin that down, that'll probably be like one of the last major major features. Like that'll probably be like the last day that I spend here, and of course I'll come back here when I need to like modify these formulas to like if I decide to add in like new calculations. Like I'll come back here to like adjust things as part of the balance pass, but it'll probably be a lot more of the stuff that we're doing, like the stuff that we're doing today, looking at the running game and using what we have exposed here, which we have kind of a lot exposed here, to tune the game. So we just set it up so that the multiplier modifiers spawn on a different schedule. Specifically, they spawn on a fixed schedule, relatively fixed. Well, yeah, right now they'll always spawn at the same increments, given how the game spawns modifiers. That was some setup in anticipation of balancing, because we know because multipliers are integers, not floats, and so in order to balance them, there will be this other measure that we need. Whereas with speed, range, and strength, we can just we can get very granular with how those modifiers are applied. So we still, I guess, man, yeah. I'm not 100% how I'm thinking there's like a fair chance I want to change how modifiers spawn, but at this point I'm not 100% on exactly how that is. Actually, no. You know what? Huh. Maybe I do. Maybe I actually want to use a similar system to what we just did for the multiplier, except instead of basing it on time, base it on like the rate at which you collect the like points in general. So like, I'm trying to think how to do this. Yeah, so let's set point thresholds. So like, you'll get your first one, whatever your first one is, you'll get it like after your third point or something. Right now it works that you get 1 point for a cookie, and you get I wouldn't say I'm great at Java. This is actually a port of a project that I wrote in Java like 7 years ago. I'd probably have to brush up a lot if I was going to work in Java. I'm working in C# because I have a lot I've worked with C languages much more than I have with Java. So it's just it comes more naturally. I spend less time correcting my syntax. Um, uh, all right. So I guess I'm on the right track. No, feel free to. I like answering questions. Feel free to chime in whenever whatever pops into your mind. Um, uh, yeah. So right now you get 1 point for knocking a cookie out of a mob's hand, or you get 1 point for collecting a cookie, I guess, and you get 10 points for freeing a mob from the simulation. Like with all the knockback, return viewers might have seen it before. Like when mobs get knocked back high enough, they actually leave the top of the simulation, and then a new mob spawns instead. Uh, I didn't dislike Java. I just I was so yeah. I started working on Java 7 years ago because it was convenient for an engine. It was like this open source engine that made it really relatively easy. Like yeah, no, it made it really easy to deploy for web. And I didn't want to use Flash, so I started working in Java because of that. And then yeah, that was the only time that I really had a reason to work in Java. And because my background is in C languages, when I have just any choice, I tend to default to C languages. But like if Unity didn't support C sharp, I'd probably be working in Java right now. Um, so yeah, you get 1 point for cookies, and you get 10 points for freeing a mob from the simulation. Um, so you don't tend to free mobs from the simulation until much later in the game. So yeah, I think I kind of like this idea. I mean, it's like it's basically what I've been saying I'll do for a while. But I don't know. I guess maybe just because we just did the mult thing, it's a bit of a surer concept in my mind. So why not? So this should. I mean, this is essentially replacing spawn time. So where did we put that spawn? Yeah. So not even explosive spawn period, but like wait, no, what? Oh yeah, down. All right, yeah. So right now we're just spawning them at fixed intervals, and this one outside it's set to 15 seconds. So let's instead say I won't delete those yet, but let's say float. Or no, these are ints because the point system is in ints. So int next or yeah, just int next button, I guess. uh, Equals 0. Well, actually, no. Let's not bother with that. Let's say int next button scale. Or actually, before we worry about scale, let's put in an initial value so that we just have so that we have a starting point. And then yeah, for starters, I'm not gonna go like it just like through like my mind is like just churning through like, oh, we could put in this one, this value, and this value, and this value, and this value. But we don't need super many values because just to see if this is even the right direction, we can just put in a very simple implementation and find out if that is if that moves in the direction that we like. So then let's put in so we have our initial value, we have the next button like no suffix to indicate our progress as the game runs, and then we'll have a public int to. Actually, I guess we can make this a float, maybe, like a float for scale, because we can multiply floats with integers and come out with integers. I'm pretty sure. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes that happens when I don't necessarily intend it to, and it takes me a while to figure out what the heck's going on. So I'm like, what happened to my floats? Why are they all so round? So next button, scale. Oh, and yeah, we'll guess at this to be like probably like, I don't know, 3 or something. Like every time you get one, it takes 3 times as long to get the next one. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, and actually, oh, so I guess I should also choose a starting value. Yeah, right. Or I should publicize the starting value so that I can tune it as well. And I'll say that the first one starts as 3 because I like the number 3 right now for some reason. Alright, so save that. So when we start and we restart the game, we'll want to make sure our first threshold is initialized, and also when we restart the game, we'll want to make sure or it gets so basically the same thing both times. And I guess we can do that actually. No, we should do it on restart game because that's when score gets reset. Okay, so because we could do the end game to be tidy, but I think that'd be weird. It probably wouldn't hurt anything, but it's just conceptually weird to me. So what do we call it? There's spawn in there, right? But no, next was in there. Next button. All right. Equals next button init. So we do that. Should then start, and we do that on restart. So yeah, the rest of the system will probably work. Hey, Francis Rika. Hold on, I'm copying your link address so I can open it on my other monitor. Not that I don't trust you. I just want to get in this habit because like sometimes I get nervous about even just having chat on screen because like I'm exporting these. Oh, it's not working. Whatever. I trust you. Open it on the main screen. Oh, what is this? Today is going great. Someone called me enthusiastic, someone called me happy, and now this. Thank you, Rika. Am I pronouncing your name right, by the way, Rika? I was thinking like the I would make the long like E sound. I hope that if I'm getting it wrong, please feel free to correct me. But thank you for that. I'm like this because you people are so nice, and because I enjoy what I'm doing. So both of those help out. Yeah. So for one thing, we can get rid of those other values that we used to use for. So we used to have like spawn next button and spawn period button, but we can get rid of these because we were just about to replace them. Oh no! What does it rhyme with? Because I want to ask people how to pronounce their name, but I also like typing out pronunciations is it can be weird. Like there can be nuance to it. I don't. But all right. Maybe perhaps I'll just call you Princess if that's. I don't know. I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll see. I'll brush up on my Finnish. Which is right. So we deleted those variables that we didn't need anymore, and so I did that in part because that'll make them bright red, and I can go through and delete them. delete the places that they had previously been used because we know we won't need to use them anymore. And it'll also remind me of when we get to the place. So, alright, so previously we were using spawn next button as a time and time.fixTime, but now we're using score. And we're using next. Oh, we just called it next button. Anyways, oh, well that makes this convenient. I can just delete that, and I can just. Oh no, okay. Next button scale. No, wait. Times equals. Yeah. I think that's correct. Roll the. Oh, no, I can't roll R's. I mean, I can, but I haven't practiced recently. If I try, I'm gonna mess it up a lot. But I'll practice that. Okay. Roll the R and say yes. Hold on, I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna write a note to myself so that I remember to actually do that. Alright. I'm gonna give it a shot. Check back later. We can see how that's progressing. Trizox is cool. He's a cool guy. He only pretends to be a troll. Alright, so yeah, let's see what that does. Well, let's see if it works for one thing. Oh, yep, there we go. There's something. Oh. See, sometimes on weird occasion, like I'll multiply an int and a float together and it'll come out as a int. And that like messes things up sometimes. So I don't know what are the rules about ints and floats and how they multiply in Unity, but apparently it's not the convenient way. It's not the way you might hope. So alright, and so instead let's say next button equals next button times next button scale. I wonder if that'll work. I mean, sometimes like these things arbitrarily do or don't work, and because I've been working with Unity for like 4 months now, so yeah, no, apparently. All right, well now I know that apparently that's not a way that you can do it either. So let's be completely clear. We want an int here, so we'll do the exact same thing that we've been doing, and then we'll just we'll be like, oh, by the way, what? No, there's no way that that's still an error, is it? You're lying to me. There's no. Oh, right, okay. Alright, no, okay. I just need parentheses is all. It was making next button an int. Next button was already an int. It was making it an int again before doing the same multiplication that it doesn't like. And there we go. Ta-da! Well, so yeah, I mean, well, okay. So here are a few fun things. If a float equals like 3.0, hypothetically, like that is actually a valid value for an int. 3.0 is not literally an integer. It's an integer value expressed as a non-integer value. Sorry, my background's in math, so I care a lot about these things and could talk about it all day. I won't talk about it all day. I'll just talk about it briefly. So an error that I sometimes encounter when I'm not careful about using values that like, so for example, if I use a .length value, that is an integer. Sometimes I want to use a .length value. Well, that's not a good example, but like I might want to use a value like .length that returns as an integer in a formula involving math. Yeah. So yeah, you can see why I kind of like all this stuff. If I want to use like a value that returns as an integer in some calculation involving multiplication, on some occasions in the past, I've been getting like really weird results, and so I have to go back and look through my formula. And one of the things that I discovered is that sometimes when that happens, an integer involved in multiplication forces all subsequent calculations to result in integers. So, for example, like I was trying to get a random value between like 1 and 5, and for some reason it would only return like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. It wouldn't return any of the it wouldn't return like 2.7. Like it would literally only return. And so I had to go tear into that. And what that means to me, or like what that would seem to imply, is that if you multiply floats and integers, sometimes you get integers out. And so I don't know all of those rules yet. How Unity decides when and how to return integers or integers or floats from the multiplication of integers and floats. However, as we have just learned, this is not one of the cases where, where was it? This is not one of those cases where we get integers back. So yeah, I'm trying to do a little of both, I guess. I still feel I've mentioned this before. I still feel very passionately about, because if you think of like the universe kind of like programmed in how math works, then when other programmers try and reproduce how math works, sometimes they fudge it and make it work slightly differently than you might learn in a math class. So that sometimes, yeah. Anyways, I've I think my views on this topic are now clear. Yeah, and it would be great if there like really was consistency there. Consistency hasn't been my experience, so I bump into those errors, and I just expect to bump into those errors because until there is like and I guess until I know when to expect which, then I could get either at any time from my perspective. But looks like we cleared those errors. So, all right. So hypothetically, once we kick this cookie, and then one more cookie. Here's being a bully. One more cookie. No. Yeah, there you go. All right. I guess we needed. Oh, right, because we didn't do less than or equal to. We should do less than or equal to. Probs. I mean, not going to make a huge difference, but all right. So apparently we kicked 6 more cookies. Oh, right. Yeah. So wait, 12. Oh no, times 3. Right. So 12. Yeah. Right. Okay. Or 13 it was, because we're not doing or equal to. Yeah. So all right. That seems all right. I don't. Yeah. Let's continue to play, I guess, just to see how the pace goes. So we got. Oh, I haven't done that yet. All right, sorry. I'm going to restart the simulation, and so I'm going to add in the or equals to. Other way around. Less than or equal to score. I'm going to save that, and then I'm also going to do the because I'm pretty certain that this has to be like higher, probably close to 2, maybe even higher than 2. We'll see. Yeah, and now let's see what we've done to balance. I mean, the game was only so balanced before, so as long as it's still like balanced-ish, then we should be good. All right, we got a range. Yeah, we can apply that to the here. I think we already. Yeah, I think yesterday or one of the days this week we set it so that explosive cookies spawn at a reasonable rate. I'm pretty sure that was something that we did already. But it's not balanced, of course, as nothing is like entirely balanced. But I think we at least we put in the measures by which we can tune that. Multiplicity on bombs is good, I guess. Yeah, so the game is a little slow at present. Like just the pace of the game. Once I get like a semblance of pacing, I'll probably like start to tighten it up so that it plays out at so it never feels like lethargic. Ideally. Oh, right. Wait, oh, I don't have, I have like with my, with my, the OBS software that I use for casting, I have like a few different configurations. I thought I had a configuration to just show my face full screen, but I accidentally messed it up when I was like messing around with things later. I can at some point on this screen I'll go I'll go full screen with it. Oh, here's one I set up for if I'm ever eating on camera. I replaced the I replaced my face with just like a picture of my face, and it's actually a slideshow. So, it'll oh, and also somewhat relevant is look I wear shirts sometimes. Look, these are pictures of me wearing shirts. I'm pretty sure I'm wearing a shirt in all of these. Well, I guess I might not be wearing a shirt in that picture. It's hard to tell. But um, I have a lot of fun here, as you might be able to tell. Um, Excuse me, sorry, that was a really weird laugh. I yeah, that's how you might find me in the wild. That's if you ever see me on the street, I'll probably look more like that. With the I don't know which one you think was Photoshop, but I was on a boat. I did find a black swan. I did find a one of those giant bushes of, what are they called, rhododendrons or something. True, that is the abridged story of my life right there. So when I write my autobiography, coasting down the implementation slide, that'll be the opening. No, those will be the chapter titles. Sorry, that's it. That was a reference to a much older stream. It was those. I'll tell you, it wasn't Photoshop. It was those booths with like those like those wooden walls with like the cutout for your face. So you just like stick your face in the cutout, and it looks like you're, for example, wearing a shirt. Yeah, you got me. I'll try harder next time. Actually, I bet using the software that I use for casting, I could just like put an image of a shirt like down around like this area here, so you just see a shirt right here. Although it'd probably like stay fixed, so when I move around it, oh, cool! We just played the entire game, start to finish, and we got to the end screen. Yeah, I wasn't paying huge attention to it, admittedly, but the things that I liked of that playthrough, the top of the screen was never cluttered with modifiers, which sometimes happen. Hey, we got a new follower! BLW90? It shows up really small on my screen, so the reason I lean in to read it, BLW90, thank you for joining! That's it's like my new favorite thing. I think when I'm not wearing my earbuds, hopefully you can hear the noise too, because there's like a little chime that happens whenever cool. I just get inordinately giddy about that. I get inordinately giddy about a lot of things that's just really high on the list. Yeah, so I think I'm thinking 3 is probably too high, because I mean we weren't playing the game for very long, but I think I don't know, that might be a reasonable pace for the introduction of power-ups. My gut says 3 is too high. Maybe that will also come down to around 2 or so. Maybe 2 is like the magic number for roughly how this game should curve out. So I'm actually, yes, just because I have a strong inclination to think that like neither, it's not going to be 2 and it's not going to be 3. It's going to be like, you know, something point something 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 once it's finally balanced. But just in the interest of getting it like close to balanced, like get these temporary values like vaguely approximated correctly, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it 2 for now. I think until I have a good reason to change it. Anyway, I made these public? Oh, here they are. So not init, but scale. So scale will be 2 instead for now. the I just got into streaming relatively recently, but I really like it because I actually don't smile this often. But unless I'm streaming, I guess I don't know. I enjoy the company, and you guys are also charming. So that's what says it. No, if it was just if I wasn't streaming right now, I'd still just be doing this, but instead I'd be like, or no, like, it was like something like that. I don't know. That's at least that's how I remember it. It was not. It was never this fun before. So, oh yeah. Okay. So now we have multipliers reasonably under control. We at least have like numbers we can tweak to tone down their impact on the game as needed, and now we have a more sensible system for how modifiers spawn at all. So yeah, those were 2. I don't think I ever really. I might have made a note to do those things, and if I did, let's scratch those off the list. So, something about between games, rearrangeable, visualize, manage, scale, inside, mouse key. No, I guess I never really wrote a note to myself to do those things because like they were very fundamental to the game. Like I didn't consider them like something really to add at some point. It was basically like what was keeping me from calling this game ever done. So one of the things that we haven't done yet, and I was actually thinking I would do today if I had gotten those art assets to work. Programming. Oh, oops, sorry, I haven't been reading chat. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's one of my favorite. Okay, so yeah, on the topic of my favorite things, one of them is when when you've been like adding features and adding features and adding features, and you keep like at the start of the project you're adding features and it's still just like a very basic simulation, but then at a certain point you're adding stuff, and then you run it and you actually get like a little absorbed by it, like you actually get into what's happening on the screen, and like it actually starts to feel like a game. That happened. Actually, I have both. I think the first build that I really felt that way is actually still online. It's an older build, but if you go to srsly.bz/hero blah, 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 blah. I can type hero/p1. This was like, it's not literally P1. Usually I use P1 to refer to the first playable build, but this is the build that Dash started working, and it was like, yeah, it was one of those moments. So yeah, you can't beat that. I mean, that, yeah. So that's why I develop games, and then my other favorite things are why I stream developing games. So it's all coming together. The best part about this build is there's no cooldown on the dash, so you can just keep clicking it, and then at the end, big explosion. Alright, no cooldown on bombs either. Still no power 3, and then the rest of the buttons don't actually do anything, but yeah. Yeah, so I was thinking of doing this today, and I might still do it. Some mobs carry mods instead of cookies. So like right now, when it's time to spawn a yeah. So I guess there'd be a slight difference in how in what we just set up. Like it's going to keep evolving because instead of stop being such a bully. Why you gotta be like that? Whoa! Wow, he was like having a crisis of conscience right there, or like he was having a little difficulty deciding which target to go after. I'll have to clean that up. I might just stop him from being a bully altogether. No, I don't know what to do about that. I'll clean that up. So what is that? Sorry, I'm just going to make a quick note so I don't forget. That was backup targeting jitter. Jitters. Oh, and I know why that is. So the reason he was jittering is he kept choosing a new target, and the reason he kept choosing a new target is because both of the available options for targets, like both of the only two mobs in his range, neither of them had cookies. And when he's targeting a mob that doesn't have a cookie, he'll keep checking for a new target. But apparently, I forgot to make it so that he only changes to a new target if he finds a new target with a cookie. So, actually, yeah, I could just fix that now. That shouldn't take too long. So that's in the targeting block fixed update, which is here. Yeah, if mob type not equals 2, then yeah, I guess this is that only going to happen to the hero? That might happen to all. No, that probably happens to all mobs. So right, so mobs target I equals -1. Mobs target I is greater than 0. Now, where's the thing about backup? Find back up. No, not back. No, none of these things. Where's the thing about backup targeting? I figured it would be here, right? Did I put it? Maybe it's part of scan range. Wait, SRM? Oh. No, I guess it's part of how we process SRM. Are you saying my interface looks nice and smooth? So oh, okay, so how about the declaration? Does the declaration make sense? SRM equals scan range multi. Is that if yeah, I'll use less and less verbose like I'll only make a variable named as complexly or as verbosely. I don't know if that's a word. My variable names are really only as verbose as their expected duration. So like this, I'm just like, this is kind of a throwaway because it's just like we're just gonna use it here for like a half a minute and then or not even. I mean in computational terms, like a very few of milliseconds, and then it just goes away. Okay. All right. um, what type of project are you working on? So wait, if I'm using scan range multi for this, then oh right, mobs follow, mobs target. No, what Yeah, I'm using scan range multi for targeting. So how how does backup come into play there? Yeah, I guess I'm okay. I guess I'm not literally using backup because if when I switch over to scan range multi doesn't actually use backup. Oh, so I probably don't even. No, I might use backup for other things. Anyways, so yeah, we must be filtering by for follow. Oh, right, here we go. Uh, Wait, if mobs follow. Now this is right. Okay, yeah. If it's greater than 0, mobs tar- mobs target. Maybe it doesn't have to do with whether they're holding a cookie. Maybe that's just like an odd case. No, it must have something to do with. All right, hold on. So it doesn't have to. Okay, yeah, here we go. Mobs follow, mobs target. Yeah, equals 0. Right. Okay. Or dashing, or all right. So, uh, right. So we're looking out for a new target if mobs follow of mobs target I. So if this mob's target is not following the hero, which means it doesn't have a cookie, it's like fleeing, then ooh. um, yeah, that's it's probably good practice. I and actually I take a lot of conceits. I started this project back when it was literally just when it was just me working independently. Um, so I set up a lot of things. I took a lot of conceits in setting up this project because at the time, I thought I would be the only person ever to see it. I was fairly confident, in fact, that I would be the only person ever to see it. That's because I knew it was an independent project. This is like I'm kind of putting it together as like a portfolio piece, along with the other 2 projects that are on my website. So I knew it would be me independently working on it, but I hadn't considered the fact that I might start streaming. For my next project, I should probably actually because like there are a bunch of things that I'm now like quasi embarrassed about because I, I I just wouldn't have done it that way if I knew I'd be showing this. And yeah, so for my next project, I probably should use better conventions, and that's a great example of one. Um, there's not a great reason to use like confusing terms or like weird like uh, uh, non-ideal implementations like some of the ones I'm doing. The only reason I was doing it was a very special brand of laziness, I guess. So yeah, do what the princess tells us to do, not what I tell us to do. Um, that's just general advice, not a specific mandate to any one person. All right. Well, sounds like you're making progress. I'd be interested to see what you get as the progress progresses. Like when you get to a when you start getting to like the phases where you have stuff to show, I'd be interested in checking it out. Have you ever considered streaming? I'm trying to convince people to stream right now because like we're at a place where like there's I wrote this whole thing about how like we're at a place where like there's a lot of game dev streamers right now, but there's like just not quite enough, and they're not quite centralized enough that like it's super convenient to find one at any given time, and so like it's like there's to find them right now you gotta like really hunt around and or like I've now learned like the places to look, but they were not intuitive from the start, and and I'm trying to encourage other people to start streaming as well, so that way there's so that I have stuff to watch in my free time. uh, but it's really easy and that's probably well actually that's something that I kind of debate about sometimes. Like I think about like I could stream more than 6 hours a day because I'm like at my computer like 10 hours a day easy. But a lot of that stuff is like work ish. Like it's not hard game development. Like it's not like actual programming or feature development or like asset production or anything like that. It's like it's kind of like I don't know. I'm guessing it's similar maybe to what you're saying in that like it's that like that really soft stuff at the beginning of the project when you're still coming up with the concept and you're you're putting effort towards what will eventually become a game project, but it doesn't actually feel like game development yet. I'm on the fence about that. Like sometimes I think I could explain my schedule to include that stuff, but I don't know how people would react. Kind of like you're saying, I don't know if that's actually something that people would want to see. Um, so yeah, sorry, I don't actually I have nothing meaningful to add to that conversation, unfortunately. Actually, just because I'm proud of it, I'm gonna plug the link to the thing that I wrote because it was also the first time I ever wrote anything on Reddit, which I wrote it on Reddit, and it was just I don't know. I put thought into it, and it expresses how I feel about stuff, I guess. Don't feel obligated to read it. It's basically just the long version of what I just said. So we're looking for a new target whenever we know our target is not like a high priority target. So the change I think I'd like to make is that if we do that and we find another target who is not a high priority target either, we don't bother switching. So we'll still keep looking, but yeah. So where do we actually change the target? I guess we can do it either of these places. So yeah, targeting. I had a fun day with the targeting system. There. Yeah. So right. So part of like the reason I posted that is that there's just a lot of information about like where to look and where to find stuff that like isn't like I only figured it out because I've spent the last month like whenever I'm not streaming I'm like well not whenever but like a lot of the time that I'm not streaming I'm like hunting through the internet like trying to track down traces. So yeah, like the TLDR of like how to find streams right now is like the link in that site, and then I'll just put up all the links because like these are important links. People need to know about these links. There's this one. There's this one. There's what else? There's so if we go to my my link to Twitch goes to Hearthstone because that's like the game that I watch. Alright, there's this one. There's that. Those are probably like the four. Like if you're looking for a dev streamer at any given time, those are like the four best places to look, I think. And then there are like a few others here and there. And so at any given time of the day, one of those probably has at least one streamer online. And then the other three might. I don't know. It's very hit or miss right now. So yeah, my post was just about how it'd be nice if there was like literally a central location, and that central location was better like broadcast so that people knew where it was and where to look. So I think we're getting there. We're just not there yet. Yeah, if you like wall code engineering set to techno or trance, then some streamers out there right now will accommodate your interests. Oh yeah, and then the search terms. Yeah, so you might notice the name of my stream got really long recently because I was just like putting in whatever search terms I thought people might use, and that actually was really effective too. I've been thinking of putting together like another write up that's not just about live streaming, but about like what I've learned from live streaming, like what like if I started over, like if I could send a message back in time 1 month, like all the things that I would do from the start rather than figuring out slowly along the way. And yeah, one of them is one very big one is like putting good search terms in your broadcast title because the day I did that, I like traffic just it was like just steadily higher. So yeah. Uh, I this stream might get a little bit meta because now that I am streaming, I'm equally impassioned about streaming itself. So there might be a few every now and again we might have these recaps of the state of streaming and how I feel about it at any given time. Um, what I was doing with the targeting system is yeah, clutter of cats. Clutter of cats. If you're not following him yet, then and you like dev streaming, I think. Yeah. Wait. Was it Princess? Were you the one saying that he's actually working on game projects? Because I was checking out his stream the other day, and I noticed he was working with like Twitch API, which I find really interesting because I actually want to use Twitch API for our next project. But but I guess he's actually literally working on a game project, which is cool because maybe we were working on similar ideas. Uh, hmm. Yeah, so a Twitch game bot. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I mean, I guess it's cool. Like I like sometimes I'll have like a weird idea and I'll think like, why is no one else doing this? Is there a reason no one else is doing this? Like, did someone try and do this and then they like died mysteriously? No. But like, uh, so my next project isn't going to be a bot, really. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends how you define bot. Like, my next project, I want to be a silent bot, kind of. I guess you could think of it as a bot, but like a silent one because he doesn't actually talk. He only processes. I don't know. It's a he all of a sudden. I guess bot to me means robot, and clearly it must be personified. Uh, but the bot would basically like accept. It would pour over Twitch chat, uh, looking for valid commands as part of a game that would actually play out not through the bot's own response, but through the Twitch stream itself. So, for example, like I don't have all the details worked out for this project yet, but I want to start on it as soon as I finish Hero, or like I want to start on it soon. But I have to spend some off-stream time just like researching how Twitch API works because I don't think you guys want to see me slowly learn about that stuff on stream, or maybe you do. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Um, but yeah, so basically, oh, all right. Well, no, it's not. So okay, so it's hard to describe. Because yeah, I imagine because do you remember like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna date myself. But do you remember back when like AOL was like important and there would be like chat rooms as there would, and then people had chat bots back in the day, and like those chat bots like played stuff like trivia and stuff. But so I'm thinking of kind of a different paradigm instead of like, because like yeah, you could reproduce those in Twitch, but the things that you can do in Twitch that you can't have done before is well, there's so like Twitch, unlike Twitch chat, or unlike chat in the past, Twitch is like a very it's just inherently an asymmetrical paradigm, and so like the first thing that came to mind is like, I am a dungeon master of sorts. Like if I gamify the stream, then like suddenly like, well, I mean I wouldn't have to do this way, but because like you could have like, you could have anyone in Twitch chat. Like you could have if you program up a bot, you could have like a bot recognize randomly anyone, or like as an assigned person as like the game master or whatever. But it just seems like as the streamer, I would have a better, like I could have a better control panel. Like I have my other computer running, and I could just have that set up, like with like all my like game manipulation, whatever. I still don't even know what the game's about exactly, but all right, cool. I'm not the only old person here. um, yeah, so I, it's neat. It's cool that other people are working with the Twitch API. On some level, I don't want to do what they're doing because what's the point of doing the same thing someone else is doing? But I mean, like if we don't literally want to turn out the same product because someone else is already doing that. I clearly don't even need to spend my time on that. Yeah, so I kind of want to like just integrate a lot of the gaming conventions that already exist, like with respect to like the way tabletop RPGs are played, and we just have, I don't know, it's just fun new. It's like I want to make it. I want to make it whatever I'm gonna make. I want to make it like flexible enough that basically anyone who wanted to could use like the whatever framework I set up to essentially like make their own unique like spin on whatever, like however this game plays. Like they could customize it so that it's relevant to their whatever they happen to be streaming. So yeah, as you can tell, this idea is like I have a very clear picture in my mind of a okay, no, that was the wrong way to describe it. I have a very firm idea in my mind of like the vague outline of this project, and then all of the details and like all of the like actual implementation. I'm gonna have to figure out. So I don't know. I'm psyched about it because like I don't know. It's just one of those ideas that intrigues me personally. So. Oh wow. Oh, I get what you're saying. Like Twitch plays Pokemon, kind of. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So then I guess. All right. Sorry. I didn't. I was having difficulty understanding what you were describing, but I yeah. So I guess what differentiates the project that I want to make is that it's not unconventional stream content per se. Like it's definitely something. It would definitely be something else, but I wouldn't actually be setting up a separate channel for this. This would be a game that I would be applying to this stream hypothetically. Well, that's gonna be weird because like I'm gonna be developing it on this stream, and then maybe I don't know. No, I don't know how that's gonna work. But like yeah, so my goal is that instead of something like Twitch plays Pokemon or the thing you're describing where you have to where there's like an entire stream about this thing, I'm hoping to make a game that that literally any streamer could add essentially to their to like accompany their stream to make the because like it's fun watching streams and it's fun chatting. Like that's inherently enough reason for me to go to Twitch, but I don't know. I want to add like just like a little something else. So like I think it's going to be partially like a hidden information game. It's going to be multiplayer because it has to be multiplayer. Like what's the point if what's the point of doing it online in like in a chat room if it's not going to be multiplayer? And it's going to be something. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. All right. So this is just like displacing stuff that I intend to do next week and talking about it now and this while we have this arbitrary screen open. But yeah. So essentially, the gist of the game, I want it to be cooperative. I don't want it to be like I want. So okay, it would have competitive elements in that people are so the participants are encouraged to ally like they like in order to succeed in the game, like you can't succeed independently in the game, you need to like the way you succeed at the game is it's okay. It's gonna be hit somewhat. All right, yeah. So the idea I have is, again, I said like I have like in my mind, like it's so clear, like not clear, but it's like I'm so certain that there is like the seed of an idea here. I just don't know all of the details, but like as the moderator, yeah, actually, I guess maybe a mod could run it. Like, it wouldn't actually have to be like the person streaming themselves, but so like, but just for the sake of the description, I'll just pretend it's me. I am indefatigable. No, no, no chat forged against me will prosper. Yeah, right. Okay, so it's a very vague idea, but right. So like, let's say me, for example, I have like a panel. I have like some interface that is off screen. It's not part of the stream, but from it I can control essentially like the way the game plays out. Like so because it's a because it's meant to be played in a stream, and a stream is meant to be like uh, renewing content. Like, it's not like it's so a stream is more like television, where like you expect to see something new on a regular basis. Less like a movie where you just it's a singular piece, and you might rewatch the movie, but it'll be exactly the same the next time you see it. So so yeah, I want the game to be like I mean the game projects that I'm working on presently, like I have on my site, like you can go and you can play Bebox and Graph, but every time you play those games, it's going to be exactly the same. So unlike those, I need some element whereby every time it's played, the the person running the game can put a new twist on it and a new spin on it. And I think a lot of that is going to be conveyed in a narrative sense. I mean, it's a text-based game, or it's not necessarily a text-based game, but it's a game wherein the control scheme is entirely text. Like, if it runs entirely through chat, and I guess it doesn't literally have to run entirely through chat, but I think it'll run predominantly through chat. So right. So some of the replayability I want to stem from. By the way, I think the reason I'm streaming under Ludum Dare or Ludum Dare, depending how you want to say it, is that I haven't started on. Well, okay, so I guess I am kind of starting on this project a little bit just by talking about it. But I think I want it to be my October challenge, I think I want it to be my entrant for Ludum Dare or Ludum Dares. I'm probably going to alternate whether I say Ludum Dare or Ludum Dare, but I think for now I'm going to start saying Ludum Dare, just so I don't have to say both. Or, no, Ludum Dare. I'm going to start saying Ludum Dare, so I don't have to say both each time. Excuse me. Yeah, so for their October contest, or for their October challenge, the point is to make a project, start to finish, in October, and clearly I'm not starting at the start of October, but I will be starting at some point in October, hopefully, unless I procrastinate way too much. So in October, you start a project, and by the end of October, not only have you completed the project, but you've made at least $1 profit, or at least $1. I hope it's not profit. At least $1 from that project. So the reason I say I hope it's not profit is that I actually don't want I don't want to sell this project or anything. I want to meet that part of the challenge by right. So I know I got distracted from describing how I want the game to be, but I mean, these are the things that I know about the project. Dare, yeah, I know it is, but in America we sometimes. In America, we sometimes we'll take a word and we'll just start pronouncing it how it looks like it would be pronounced if it was an American word. And then there's this I mean, I guess I'm not addressing an American audience, so I probably shouldn't worry about that anymore. But the reason I would accommodate dare as the pronunciation, and the reason I might even say it myself in conversation is if I was talking to someone who I knew had no interest in the correct pronunciation and was doing the American thing where they just pronounce it how they want to pronounce it, then I'm yeah. That's that, okay. So you clearly understand how America works. But like, yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's a subtle thing, but like sometimes when you're talking to people who do this, like it's more important just to convey the idea than to point out how they're wrong.